Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Bodcast. It is episode 86, we believe. We've not checked.
We're getting better at remembering.
Yeah. And we are going to talk about the differences between the UK and the US when it comes to things like Lego shows.
Yeah, and maybe other places.
Okay.
And I'm here.
Yeah, I am joined by my lovely wife.
That's me.
That's you, who was asleep a few minutes ago, so who knows what's going to happen this episode.
It's hard being in the workforce and having a job and stuff.
It is.
I love how I refer to it as being in the workforce, like I'm doing much of a job. It's like an hour a day, but whatever. Okay, so we were talking about Brickvention in particular, so that's why I'm saying it's not just the US, because Brickvention was Australia. So if you want to see a roundup of some of the things that were at Brickvention, then we can link up a video for that, because Snowlena did a very good overview of what was there. And she included like a giant-sized... Was it a Millennium Falcon? It was a Star Warsy ship.
Wasn't a Millennium Falcon.
What? No, I didn't think it was. What was it? Star Destroyer. Is that the pointy one?
Yeah.
Okay. And wasn't it like 80,000 pieces or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Which is a lot.
It is.
And we never get that kind of size stuff at shows over here.
Have you forgotten the Jeep?
Oh, the Jeep was huge, actually. Okay. We very rarely get stuff that size. I guess this is the thing. We look at things like Brickworld Chicago and Brick Fair Virginia, and they look like massive shows and massive mocks. And you've got like Brick Snaps, who does all the massive like Disney Castle, Rapunzel Castle. Their mocks seem massive. And is there a greater availability of parts over there? Is there more of an AFOL community over there? Do they get treated more specially than we do?
It's interesting. A lot of people,
why is it different?
A lot of people complain about the US pad walls
being rubbish.
They don't get good parts on there compared to what we get over here.
But then if you look at their Bricklink availability, there's so many more parts available. And normally at quite a cheap price.
Yeah, so... I mean, I think, particularly thinking about it from the UK point of view, getting anything delivered from outside the UK is quite expensive.
And we're quite small, so therefore we've got limited amount, whereas the US is massive.
Yeah, I have no idea how much it costs to send stuff across the US.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it a state thing? Or...
I don't know. I mean, the US Postal Service is generally rated as one of the best postal services in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know if that means that it's there.
Do you mean specifically UPS as a? Is that their like their Royal Mail?
I don't know.
Or is that just one of their?
I thought UPS was just a courier service.
Yeah, trying to work out if there was a United States Postal USPS.
I don't know.
Anyway, so you're saying it might be easier to get things across because of that?
I mean, I'm guessing that's not true of everywhere in the US. If you're in Hawaii, getting hold of Lego might be a lot more expensive.
Hawaii.
Even Alaska, it might be more expensive.
I don't know, Alaska.
Okay. But I think you get quite a big difference of how shows work. So here, the shows, it seems the point of the show is for people to display their mock. And so it works in a way that, generally if you're displaying a mock, you don't have to pay to enter. Yeah. Sometimes you get a free gift for doing it. In some cases, they've given out vouchers. So the show is there to facilitate people showing the mock.
Yeah.
Whereas in the US, that doesn't necessarily seem to be the case.
Well, so they have to pay to reserve their spot.
Yeah, their spot.
Their spot. Their spot. I was asleep.
Yeah.
Cut me some slack. But why does that mean they get bigger mocks? I don't understand.
So if you're paying to display a mock...
Surely you have less funds available to then make the mock, so they should be smaller mocks.
Yeah, but you're also going to put more effort into it because they often do quite good prizes.
Oh, there's prizes.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been to some shows where there's prizes. Was it Reading? They did a...
Yeah.
I mean, maybe just a trophy. I don't know if it's actually a prize.
Yes, I don't know what they actually won or who won.
Kudos.
We never found out that interesting bit of information.
Who won?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas,
I thought we did. It's a while ago now.
Whereas the US ones, it seems like they have loads of different categories and you get different things whether you're nominated or whether you win and all of these things. So it's a much more competitive thing. Whereas we've seen it as here, you go and show your mock, and the reason you're showing it is so people can see it, and you are there to watch the people seeing it.
Yes.
because you're getting feedback, you're talking about it. In the US, it seems very different. You set up your mock and you walk
literally
away.
just walk away. Yeah, I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, which means that for public days, they have all the barriers in place,
Yeah.
so you can't get as close to the mocks.
Well, some of our shows also have barriers just to make it a bit more secure. But I think it's that it's not them going to show to the public, it's just them putting something out for the public to see. Less personal. And you don't get the conversation behind what inspired you for the mock. Why did you make these decisions? How have you done that specific thing?
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the fun things about Swindon, is when people came over, even like the other AFOLs, or the other people displaying, going, can you please just show me how you did this part?
Yeah.
Because it looks interesting. Do you think it's maybe a social media thing that you only see the biggest shows because that's what is mainly shown? Because we go to quite a lot of the little smaller charity ones, which are going to be smaller.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we've been to ones where it's, the church hall and you pay a quid to get in.
Exactly.
Kind of thing.
So that's not going to grab as many heads.
No.
And people won't go, oh, look at your tiny show. They'll just...
But it also, I think there's generally a difference of how Lego is viewed in the US. To some extent. So we have the little shows here because the idea is that you take your family to the local show.
Right.
Everything is more family based, whereas in the US it seems very AFOL based.
I guess, is it that Americans just do conventions more than we do? Like, a convention is a thing, like they have... Well, we do things like Comic-Con as well now.
Yeah.
But I feel like it feels like that isn't a very British thing to do, a convention. I don't know why.
I don't know.
Because I guess it is that other side of... we don't stand up and go, look at this thing I've done. We're not that kind of people.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
I mean, if you look at videos from Chicago or Virginia, there's a lot less kids there than the shows in the UK.
Is that because people are mainly taking videos on the non-public days though?
No, when you watch videos of the public days, they'll do sweeping shots of the crowd, and I would say there's a lot less kids there.
But why?
Because it's more expensive to go in.
Yeah, more
expensive. Are you going to be spending that?
And you're not... It's not a local thing, so you have to actually travel, and I can't imagine a road trip across America with kids is fun.
No.
I mean, it's bad enough across the UK, and that's not so far.
No.
And I guess as adults, we're not very willing in this country to just drive very far. We are a small country, but we're like, what? You want us to go 4 hours? And in America, they're like, 4 hours is just next door.
Yeah.
Of course I'll drive 4 hours. It's a very different setup, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So strange.
They will refer to something as down the road when it's an hour away, and it's like, no, that's not down the road. If I have to get in a car, it's not down the road.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely not down the road. So, you don't think there's any sort of favouritism from Lego? I mean, they definitely seem to appeal to the US market more in their sets. The Main Street was called Main Street instead of High Street, the Christmas set.
Yeah, is that...
The Office was the American Office.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that is pandering towards the US or the fact that US culture is more popular in Europe.
That's just TV shows, isn't it? That's normally the drive.
Where most of it comes from.
Yeah, because I remember my Norwegian friends at uni spoke with an American... their English was with an American accent because they'd learnt it from Friends. That was how they learned English. Just crazy, but it makes sense.
It does. But I mean, I think you also see this whole family versus AFOL thing with things like Lego Masters.
Yes, our Lego Masters has kids.
Yeah.
None of the other Lego Masters do.
It was the original ones, it was very kid-based, and they moved away from that to do adult ones in both Australia and the US.
Yeah, you thought maybe they...
drama.
Yeah.
But then the Christmas special one, again, brought kids back into it.
Yeah, I guess that's just the market here is...
Yeah.
Well, is it just that they don't treat our AFOLs with as much clout? We aren't the buying...
As I say, they're targeting families, not AFOLs, whereas in the US they're very much
but
going
why?
after
AFOLs. I see your point, but why?
I don't know why. Because they decided there's already enough AFOLs here. I mean, I think in terms of Lego spend, isn't the UK the highest?
We spend more on Lego than the US.
I think it's something like that, yeah.
Percentage based, or it just
I thought in general...
So... Literally, we outspend the US.
I've got a feeling...
It's massive.
We definitely do per capita. It's miles ahead.
Where do you see those kind of figures?
I can't remember. They're available somewhere.
It's interesting. I mean, if you look at Australia as well, so this is where the big show was that we were looking at, they don't even have proper Lego stores. They've got certified Lego
Yeah.
stores. So I feel like we need more big shows.
More big shows.
I mean, there used to be bigger shows in this country, like the one
Yeah.
that was at the NEC and in London. Bricktastic this year, I guess this is a good advertising post, is coming in less than a month. Like, it's the end of next month.
Yeah.
25th,
Yep.
24th and 25th, I think it is, of February. And that is upscaled from last time, apparently. We're in a bigger hall, which I remember it being huge last year, so I'm a little bit daunted.
Yeah, I mean, last year it was in 3 halls.
Right.
So I don't know if this is bigger in how much bigger this is in total space.
Right.
Or they've just gone, we'll just get the really big hall and fit everything in the one hall.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. We will find out.
So they had the main hall. What were the other halls? Was there a GBC at Manchester?
Yeah.
Was it in the main hall?
Yes, that was in the main hall. But they had the one which then had the brick pits and building challenges and Jeep
yes,
in the back
I
of
remember.
it. And then they had kind of the bit outside of those 2 halls.
Yeah.
Which was, it didn't have that much in, but it had the big Lego wall.
Yes.
Where you could build your own little
Yeah,
graffiti
that's where
bits onto
our
it.
girls just essentially ran up and down.
Yeah.
Just because we've never done a show where we're in the main hall. Like at Swindon,
Yeah.
it was less overwhelming because we were away from the big crowds.
Yes.
I might take my ear defenders.
Okay.
I don't have any ear defenders.
I can lend you some.
You have ear defenders?
Of course I have ear defenders.
Well, I look like I work in a machine room.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the look I'm
They're
going
proper
for.
industrial ear defenders.
Can we put some purple sequins on them?
Of course you can.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, so I mean, we went to whichever one it was at the NEC years ago.
I want to call it Brick Live, but I don't know if it was Brick Live.
Could have been. And then again, that was much bigger and more, I guess, more what you think of as a convention.
Like events to do and
Yeah, there
people
was...
talking. There was like designers and stuff,
Yeah.
wasn't there? That was, and then there was the bit to buy stuff, and then there was a lot of brick pits and stuff for kids as well. And I feel like there was other non-Lego toys there as well. Like they had some like toy manufacturers that had just sort of come along. I don't know, because again it seemed very family. Well, there was a family-oriented bit, and then there was definitely an AFOL bit where there was all the big displays.
Yeah.
So
And you had cosplayers there.
don't recall that part.
There were definitely some there. Can't remember what, but yeah. Whereas the UK shows, they are very much shows.
Yes. Well, you get some of the ones where there are like time challenges and things that, like you
Yeah.
can sign up to. I
Don't
never
really have-
actually see them doing that. I don't know if that's just because we don't do those
I
things.
don't know. But there's not the same kind of designer panels and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, because in the US ones they have like the Lego Masters stands and you can go
Yeah.
and meet the Lego Masters. So there is things for fans to go and see, not just models.
Yeah.
So I guess we're just different.
Yeah. I don't know if there is a space in the UK for doing that more convention style one.
Well, so I thought Tech was saying that there was going to be a big NEC show this year, Blockbusters. But I looked that up and it is run by the same people as the smaller shows, the Brick Festivals.
Right.
So I don't know if they're trying to do a big one
Right.
as well. So maybe worth going and seeing if it's on par with what we remember from the other 2 shows that we've been to. Because I went to the one in London as well, didn't I?
Yes.
You didn't go to.
So could you ever see yourself paying to display a mock?
I don't think so.
I mean, I guess, so technically, in Brickworld Chicago, I looked up, you're not paying to display a mock.
No, you're paying
You're
to be there.
paying, and that gives you access to like 2 private days and
Yeah.
night viewing and all these different things, and the opportunity to display a mock.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know whether that would work in the UK, that you went, right, you've got an extra day where all of the people showing mocks can just mill around and talk and look at stuff in a much easier way than when you've got the crowds there.
I think I would enjoy it. I think it would be good. Imagine like Swindon, all that little bit of time like between things.
Yeah.
Like a whole day of that and games and things. I don't know, I think it would be really lovely.
Yeah.
But I don't think we get enough time off work for it. No one has the time for it.
Well, you
How would
could
you
take
fit it
time
in?
off work.
You
couldn't
could take time off work, but because we have so many shows and people do this circuit, people are less willing to take time off to do that because they're taking a lot of their time already doing
But if there
things.
was one big show
Yeah.
somewhere, it could work. I mean, we've got for Swindon, we had the meal in the auction afterwards.
And this is the thing, we've never done Bricktastic on the other side of the fence, so this is our first time. And that is a big show, so I guess we'll get to see. So we'll definitely report back after Bricktastic.
So you're getting these things for free in the UK. If it was here's an extra day, and as part of that we'll have the meal in the auction and all the other different stuff that could happen.
I just don't think that I would be interested enough in showing off something I've made that I would pay for that pleasure.
But would you pay for a private day to go and look at all of the mocks and to take part in special events and stuff?
Well, I'd pay to go to a show when I wasn't displaying, so I guess I would.
But would you pay more? Because that's the thing.
Yeah.
If you go to go, you're paying
I
significantly
don't like paying
more,
for things.
I know you don't.
So, probably not.
Okay.
Quite cheap. Cheap. That's why we're doing mocks, isn't it? So we don't have to pay for the shows.
No.
No, I mean, that's what I first thought was we could get into doing it because it would cost us less in actually going to shows.
But
then, like, once you've done it, you're like, well, actually, and this is massively rewarding in itself. So you do it for both reasons. Because I love the social element of a show. And to me, it's like going and seeing friends. And I don't really want to pay to go and see friends. No. So that's why it's nice to, you take a mock along and you get to see friends for free. Free friends.
But I guess the downside of it is the UK ones, because they're not making as much, they're not taking money from the people displaying, therefore it is up to the displayers to do more of the work.
Yes, that's true. So you are giving a lot of time.
If you were paying to display a mock and then told you also have to stand next to your mock for days to talk to people about
I guess that's what gives them that freedom to sort of say, no, I'm not standing in front of it, I've just paid all this money, you look after it. But then I feel some sort of like sense of protection for my mock. I don't think I'd want to just chuck it down. I guess there's such available bricks on Bricklink, they can just replace it. Drop of a hat. No issues.
Exactly.
I mean, it still costs a fortune. It's not like it's cheap. Is it cheaper?
I don't know.
Well, I guess because they've got more, then you could probably find cheaper
maybe
options.
But also, I don't know whether putting on a convention is cheaper.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, so I was saying that Bricktastic, you have to hire the hall and carpet to go in it.
Yes.
It doesn't come carpeted.
Why do you need carpet though?
Because it's not nice, particularly for the people displaying, to be stood on concrete for a full day.
No.
So, in summary, the US...
Sorry, can I just clarify? It sounded like you said Ian summary. This is the Ian summary. This is the segment called Ian Summary.
The US, they're more convention-based. They're bigger. You travel far. There's less families. In the UK, it's a show. It's for the family. And therefore, they're different because they're aimed at different people. Yeah.
Do you think we'll ever be in a similar situation where it's aimed more at the AFOLs in this country?
I don't think so, mainly because there's not enough AFOLs in the UK to justify that to the same extent, I don't think. And if you were saying, well, people could come from Europe, you've then got the much bigger AFOL conventions in Billund.
Billund, yeah. Well, maybe we need to go to that one and see what that's like. And that one you do pay for the privilege because you're paying to go and be in the accommodation and stuff, aren't you?
Yeah.
I also don't understand the logistics of taking your mock on an aeroplane.
No.
Especially not our mock.
No.
Can you imagine?
That's why you need to go by a cruise ship.
Ooh. Still don't really understand it would be quite a lot of...
Get a second room for your mock.
Okay, if we've just come into some money that I'm unaware of?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool, can we go on a cruise?
No.
Oh man, so mean.
I am. Okay, so I tried to summarise it and then we got new points, so I'm not going to summarise it again. So if you have any comments, what you like from a show, what you don't like from a show. I mean, I know some people have done both UK and US ones, so they may have different views. Those would be interesting. Leave them as comments in YouTube or however it is you do it on other platforms. I don't know, I don't use them.
And I guess if you really want to see those big mocks, you could just go to the shows in the other places.
Yes.
Yeah. Just pointing out that you can travel.
You can travel. But as we said, we don't like travel in this country.
No, we don't.
And so next week...
we'll be back with another exciting episode.
It will be exciting.
And just making sure people know.
Very exciting.
They are. Have a good week, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.